Your teen is in their best friend's car after school. Engine still running. Spotify paused. And your kid's saying something about you they'd never say to your face. Not because they hate you. Because somewhere along the way, their best friend became the safer place to be honest. That should bother you more than the secret itself. These are the things teens whisper about their parents. The ones that sound like complaints, but are actually maps. And one of them would break your heart in the best way. 1. The version of you they're still carrying around. My mom thinks she knows me, but she doesn't. This is the one they say with a sigh. 0 anger, maximum exhaustion. She keeps talking about me like I'm obsessed with dinosaurs. I haven't cared about that in years. Your kid grew up. Your mental image of them didn't. The software changed. You're still running the 2019 version. They changed their music taste 3 times since September, twice by lunch. They have opinions about the world now. They have a friend group you've never met and an internal world you've never been invited to. When you reference the version of them that existed at 10, what they hear is, you stopped updating your file on me somewhere around 5th grade. This one has a cousin. My parents love the idea of me. That's the teen who gets loved loudest when they perform exactly the way the family script requires. Good grades, right sport, correct future. Step outside that blueprint and the warmth dims. They love the version of me they imagined. If they trusted me more, I wouldn't have to hide things. 2. The part that comes as a complete surprise. Here's the one nobody expects this early. I complain about him all the time, but honestly, I want to be like him. Your teen talks about you like a problem they're required to manage. And then, one random Tuesday, they say something that sounds like an acceptance speech at an awards show you were never invited to. Why does everyone else get the fun version? The teen who watches their dad be warm, charming, and hilarious at every barbecue, then come home and be a different channel entirely. Same actor, different programming. The sting is specifically the gap between the public warmth and the private default. He acts tough, but I don't think he's happy. Your teenager looked at your whole life and saw through the performance. They noticed the loneliness under the competence. That's a wild read for someone who still needs reminders to close the fridge. My dad has no idea I look up to him. That one lives in the car. Never makes it through the front door. Not because they don't mean it, because they haven't figured out how to say it without it feeling like a flag of surrender. Adolescent disclosure research found that teens keep fewer secrets from their best friend than from either parent. Someone out there knows your kid better than you do, and your kid chose that. 3. The parent they stopped bringing real things to. I love my dad, but I can't talk to him. I already know what he's going to say before he says it. Every conversation becomes a lecture, a correction, or a 5-point improvement plan delivered with the enthusiasm of a middle manager who just discovered bullet points. Presented quarterly, whether requested or not. They came to you with something real. Maybe it was school stress. Maybe a friendship fell apart. And within 30 seconds, you were in fix-it mode with a motivational speech they never ordered. So they adapted. They stopped bringing feelings to the person who responds to vulnerability with a PowerPoint. I wish they'd ask how I am and actually listen. The parent probably does ask every single day. How was school? But the teen hears it as a formality because the last time they answered it honestly, it became a 40-minute strategy session about effort and potential. I pretend I'm fine so they don't worry. If they tell you, it becomes a whole thing. A family meeting with snacks and concern and follow-up questions that last until graduation. So they just keep it in their notes app where they can't trigger a parental SWAT response. 4. What your kid already knows that you think you're hiding. I wish my parents would stop fighting. When they start arguing, I just put my headphones on and wait. You think the walls muffle it. They don't. And even when the volume's low, the energy fills the house like a weather system. Kids read rooms the way meteorologists read pressure fronts. Some kids could predict an argument 3 hours in advance and should probably be hired by the Weather Channel. They know when a storm's forming before either of you do. I think my parents are unhappy. Children notice more than adults realize. They see the silence at dinner. They clock the way one parent leaves the room 2 minutes after the other enters. They keep saying everything's okay. It's obviously not. I know we're struggling with money. Parents think they're hiding it. I heard them talking at night. Your teen has been carrying that weight alongside you. They just never mention it because they've decided your plate's already full enough without putting more on it. That's a 15-year-old running adult-level emotional math, deciding your stress matters more than theirs. And you probably think they're just on their phone. 5. The pattern they recognized before you did. I don't want to become my mother or my father. These two get whispered separately, but they come from the same root. The teen watched a pattern in you, they recognized it, and now they're terrified they're already running the same code, against their will and without reading the terms and conditions. Longitudinal research tracking over 1,000 adolescents found that secrecy from parents increases linearly through the teen years, and that increase directly predicts lower relationship quality in both directions. It's like they became a different person after divorce, after illness, after grief or recovery. The teen is mourning a version of you that still technically exists, but emotionally relocated years ago. I'm counting the days until I move out, said with zero drama and maximum intention. This teen already has a target city and a mental budget. Some of them have spreadsheets. My parents think they can hide their favorites. I can literally see it. Every kid in a multi-sibling household runs a private ranking algorithm. They know who gets more patience, whose mistakes get grace, and who's get interrogated. The whisper rarely reaches a parent's ears. It goes straight to the best friend, because saying it out loud would rearrange the entire family story. 6. The comment you forgot that they never did. My mom is my biggest critic. Nothing is ever enough. This teen's talking about grades, appearance, friends, future plans, and the constant low hum of being measured against a standard that never stops moving. My mom doesn't realize she hurt me, is the comment you forgot 3 years ago that still lives rent-free in your kid's head like a screensaver that never shuts off. You probably said it while unloading groceries. They carry it like a verdict. She probably doesn't even remember saying it. I wish my mom would stop comparing me. Siblings, cousins, the neighbor's kid who apparently runs a Fortune 500 company at 15. Every comparison teaches the same thing. You, as you currently exist, are not the preferred option. I wish they'd apologize once. Your teen isn't asking for perfection. They're asking for one moment where you say, I got that wrong, without turning it into a monologue about how hard parenting is. One sentence, no explanation attached. The rarest collectible item in modern parenting. 7. What's actually happening underneath the stillness? They think I'm lazy. I know my room looks terrible. I just can't get myself to start. The teen explaining this to their best friend is describing burnout, depression, ADHD, or the kind of overwhelm that turns getting out of bed into an Olympic event with no medal ceremony. And the label lazy lands on top of all of it like a verdict from one person whose opinion they can't outrun. School, social survival, trying to figure out what seen at 8:14 p.m. means in a group chat. Their gauge has been running on empty since October and nobody checked. I wish my mom had friends. She makes me her entire social life, and it's exhausting. This teen has become their parents' therapist, event planner, and emotional support system without ever applying for the position. Somehow, all entry level, and the weight of that role is the thing they whisper about most quietly. Because criticizing a lonely parent feels cruel, even when the cost is real. I secretly feel responsible for their happiness. A nationwide study of nearly 48,000 adolescents found that 36% experience some form of emotional role reversal with their parents. Your teen scanning your mood before deciding whether to mention their bad day, that's the pattern running. 8. The ones at the bottom of the pile. Here's the part that almost nobody expects. Your teen has been saying a lot of things about you. Most of them sting, but there's a handful at the bottom of the pile that sound completely different. I'm scared to disappoint them. One of the most common hidden confessions. Your teen is out there performing their entire life with your approval as the audience they're most afraid of losing. They're proud of me. That's the problem, because the moment you're proud, the stakes triple. Now they have something to lose. I spent years thinking silence from my teenager meant indifference. It didn't. It meant the feelings were too big for the available vocabulary. I know this because I was that teenager once, and the things I never said out loud to my parents are the things I still think about. Not with anger, with something that took longer to name. I don't think they know how much I love them. I complain about them constantly, but if something happened to them, I'd fall apart. That one is a teenager who loves you so much it scares them. And the reason it comes out as a slam door and whatever, Mom, is because the real version of that feeling is too big for a 15-year-old vocabulary. They don't have the words yet, so they use the only language they got. Attitude, distance, and silence that sounds like rejection, but is actually just love with nowhere safe to land. I think my parents did the best they could. This is the whisper where your teen stops prosecuting you and starts understanding you. They look at the mess, the overreactions, the moments that landed wrong, and for one quiet beat in someone else's car, they say, yeah, they tried. I'm gonna miss them more than they'll ever know. That's the last thing they whisper. And the reason they'll never say it to your face is the same reason you probably never said it to yours. Because the people who love you the hardest are usually the worst at saying it while it still matters. Somewhere right now, another teenager's sitting in another parked car, engine still running, Spotify still paused, saying one of these things to the one person they can trust enough to say it to. If your teen is whispering about you, it means you still take up space in their world. The ones who've truly checked out don't mention their parents at all. If this one sat somewhere uncomfortable, if your child could be honest, they'd tell you these 10 things is what it sounds like when they finally say it to your face instead of someone else's. That video has accidentally turned Costco parking lots into support groups. You're welcome.